Hey everybody, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Dan Trongone's Fitness and Finance. Okay, again, it still launches the first kind of full week of me doing this, kind of wrapping my brain around how I want to take this. There's so many wonderful fitness channels out there. Check out Athlete X, Jeff Cavalieri. He's been doing this for about 10 plus years. My age, same education, except he does more physical therapy stuff. He has a multitude of videos about every detailed exercise you can ever want. That's not my goal for this channel. My goal is to be more of the coaching aspect of how to design stuff. And I'll show you some exercises, get into it a little bit. But my goal is to transition out of the fitness career, go into more finance, do some coaching. I'll do a little bit of fitness stuff. I want to focus more on life coaching and finance coaching, because fitness can actually be really, really simple. Most people just don't like to do the hard work of going to bed early, writing down what they eat, weight train hard. They always want to do the easy stuff. How do I know? Because I was guilty of that. And then you have a lot of booger-eating morons on social media bragging about how strong they are, or how lean they are, how sexy they are, and then they have two brain cells that rub together and barely make a spark. And they actually don't care about people. Now again, if that bothers you, right, I don't really give a crap. I want to make sure you succeed and find things of value, okay? Where you better yourself, and then by bettering yourself, you help others with honesty, character, and integrity with stuff that actually works, okay? So today's video is about baby step 6, right? Baby step 1, $1,000. Baby step 2, clear up all your debts. We talked about that. Baby step 3, 3 to 6 months emergency fund. Baby step 4, which was 15% of your salary into retirement. Baby step 5, which was funding college. And then baby step 6 is pay off your house. So check this out, right? I'm a minimalist. I don't want to own a house. And I was thinking about doing the tiny home thing, or even like an RV thing, van life type things, because I have a girlfriend, but we both are very minimalist. But here's the problem with the van life thing and the RV thing. You know, those are houses you sleep in, so the value of those things go down. It's known as a depreciating asset. So they don't really go anywhere. I don't recommend that long term if you're trying to create value and equity. Definitely buy an actual house that has land on it, number one. Number two, that goes up in value. And then again, you can sell that later. Now, the big thing is pay off your house early. Why? Because again, interest works for you. People are like, oh, you get the tax write-off. Dave Ramsey talks about this. Go into detail, look on DaveRamsey.com and talk about the differences between paying off your house early and then getting that tax write-off. Let's look at the tax write-off. You save a couple of $1,000s a year on that tax write-off. Cool. You know, if you gave me a couple of $1,000s, I'd keep it and put it in my pocket and save it. But if you spend the time to pay off the house early, that's possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars you're saving in interest, right, that you're paying to the bank. Okay, so again, right, look at how much money you'd probably save over 2 years, right? Let's say you paid your house off, let's say 3 years. Let's say you paid off your house in 3 years and you saved maybe 30 grand, right, over those 3 years in tax write-offs and stuff, versus you pay your house off early. In 3 years, you spent all that money on your mortgage, and then now you own it. After 3 years, you have zero bills, zero interest against you, and all that money you were paying out in a house payment, now you can fund it in a mutual fund for retirement. So check this out. People who use debt as leverage, it's not a tool. It's really not, right? Smart people, right? If you read The Millionaire Next Door by Dr. Tom Stanley, Chris Hogan's book, I forgot what's his, but some of the Millionaire Mindset is Tom Stanley, but Chris Hogan has a millionaire book. Dr. Tom Stanley has a book. All people who have a lot of wealth, they stay debt-free, they focus on investing, and they spend cash. They have zero debt. Now, again, do what rich people do if you want to be rich. Do what fit people do if you want to be fit. A lot of people in this world today drive Rovers and Lambos or Mercedes, and they have giant car payments. They send their kids to private school, but they have tons and tons of debt towards that. Right? A lot of people wear nice fancy clothes. They look good on the outside, but inside they're shallow and they're broken and they don't have a good understanding of money. Now again, right, rich people, very rich people who are 100% cash flow debt free, right? For example, Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha. The guy drives like a 25-year-old Cadillac. He lives in the same house he grew up in, and the guy's worth several $billions. So I'm going to listen to Warren Buffett than my broke brother-in-law, like Dave Ramsey says, or some of my former friends, former bosses, former just people just I've experienced in just life, definitely some of my family, you know, that people like to look good, and then are they actually good, right? So for example, you know, I'm okay, right? I have a lot of money in savings. I'm working part-time to just make ends meet right now while I got laid off the past month looking for the right job. Also finding the right path and trying this because I want to go. But am I where I want to be? No. Am I trying to move forward? Yes. Do I have a hard time moving forward? Yes. Thanks to my girlfriend and all the positive things I read, I'm really trying to move forward the right way with money. I listen to Dave Ramsey because he is a multi-millionaire, number one. Number two, he's helped more people get out of debt and get control of their lives, so I'm going to follow him. And three, it helps me. When it helps me, I can help you. Now, again, I'm not looking for anything in return right now, right? I would like to launch a coaching business where I do finance, and I do life coaching, and I do fitness. I kind of do all of it, where I control my schedule. But again, I control my schedule, and when I'm happy, I help others, and I help others succeed and help others win and become happy, and they do the same thing. It's a communal relationship. It's a win-win, not a parasitic relationship, right? So let's go back to the home thing, right? If you pay off your house early, number one, you have less stress, and if you lose your job or you get laid off, you own your house. Ta-da! Right? Dave always says the grass feels greener once you own something. I'm not going to lie. Ever since I became debt-free 4 years ago, 5 years ago, right? 2016, March of 2016, February 2016, it is the best thing I've ever done, ever, for myself. My family, I have two uncles that are multimillionaires, and they barely graduated high school or college from what I know, and they have several $1 million in the bank because they work hard, they use cash, they grow their business, they do all the things Dave Ramsey preaches. I have some family members who are super educated, and they have pennies to their name, but they have tons of car payments and house payments and credit card bills, so they look rich and they're not. So do me a favor, right? Number one, pay off your house. Number two, it frees up money. Number three, that freed up money can be invested. And four, that interest is yours to be earned. Number five, don't go into RVs or van life, because those are known as depreciating assets, or cars that you live in. Because if you bought a $75,000 RV today, 5 years from now, probably worth 10, you just lost a bunch of money. Okay? Also, when you buy a house, right, try to put 20% down, right? 10 to 20%, Dave Ramsey recommends, more on the 20% side, because you prevent what's called PMI, private mortgage insurance, right? That's extra money you're shelling out for insurance. What if you couldn't, pay your mortgage off? Then that private mortgage insurance kicks in and helps pay the rest of that bill. Look up PMI, private mortgage insurance. I'm not 100% positive on that, but you have to have that if you have under 20 or 10% of a down payment, because you're ensuring to the seller that they're going to get paid when you buy it. Now, also, your mortgage should be 25% of your take-home pay. Same thing with rent. Why 25%? Because number one, that means you have 75% of your rest of your money to invest and also save. So example, when I was working full time, I saved 10% of my salary, liquid cash, in my emergency fund, just to prevent other stuff. Even though I already have 6 months, I just kept putting in there for other stuff, like car repairs, stuff like that. Then I saved 15% into my Roth IRAs and other retirement accounts. So that means I lived off of 75% of my salary very comfortably because I was debt free. Now what I would do is, then if I had a house, I would take all that extra money and start throwing it at my mortgage. Okay, if I had one. Now I don't have one yet because I don't want to stay in Florida. I want to head back out west. I love the mountains, I love the humidity, and I love where, people really focus on education and proper business tactics. Don't get me wrong, that's everywhere. There's a-holes, buttholes, whatever you want to call, jerks that do business poorly. I just don't like this environment. I want to go to an environment that I prospered in and that I enjoy way better. Side note. Okay, so today's fitness thing, right? Let's talk about it. Number one, always focus on structural balance, right? For example, there's a lot of articles lately that have been coming out with fitness, right? Everybody always benches, everybody always presses, and I always preach that that's part of the equation. You got to make sure you row, and you got to make sure you pull. Now, real quick, another fitness tip I want to recommend is every time you bench, and again, when I say horizontal pressing, I prefer dumbbells, but also change your grip with every exercise, right? Let's say I do barbell bench, I'm not a big fan of it. I like dumbbells and cables and bands and bodyweight superiorly because, again, I want each side to be like an independent suspension in a car. Okay, so let's say you dumbbell chest press like this, right? Right, one grip like that, next grip neutral grip, next grip you can even supinate, right? Supinate, pronate, supinate, pronate. Okay, so if I bench this way one set, next set I'll do neutral grip, third set I would rotate, and if you do more than 3 sets, which I recommend, do 4, 5, or 6, right? Go back, change each grip a set. Now, the same thing applies with your pulling exercises. If I do rows here, if I do rows here, if I do rows here, okay? Or maybe I multi-plane, right? Multi-planar means varied grip, varied planes of motion. That is switching it up, bro. Let's switch it up, like, you know, like, I want to hit all the different muscle fibers, bro. Right? And muscle confusion. Okay, so by changing grip with the same motion, you're already switching angles of attack to recruit different parts of that muscle. Now remember, you can't just shut off parts of a muscle and then just turn on other parts. The whole thing fires. You can shift different emphasis, but again, the muscle still has to fire. It's called the all or none principle. It's like a light switch. You either turn it on, the light's on, or you turn it off. There's no dimmer switch with muscles. You can either turn them on or turn them off. Now you can use more of that muscle based on the load you use, but that's super deep. Okay? It's kind of like this, folks. My girlfriend and I always talk about this. You can't be half pregnant. That's a Gary Vaynerchuk. When a muscle's on, it's fully on. When it's off, it's off. Okay? You're either pregnant or not. Ta-da! So that's how muscles work, right? When you do crunches, and not just upper abs, yeah, your upper abs do work a lot, but the whole thing has to work. When you're doing decline chest press, flat press, or incline, okay? Your whole pec is working. It's just shifting emphasis of it. Now, by the way, real quick, this is a military press. Everybody thinks it's shoulders. It is a lot of shoulders, but there's still a lot of pec in there, which is your chest and triceps. So I consider this a vertical chest press. But again, I don't like it here. I like it here. So now I recruit a lot more pec, push up and back, right? You get that strength curve action. We talked about that before, okay? So fitness tip of the day, when it comes to your upper body, change your grips each set. Now, when it comes to legs, you can't, I mean, you can turn your feet in, you can turn your feet out on certain things. Definitely not on the compound lifts. So what I recommend is, for the legs, you can't really switch your grips, but you can do a squat, two-legged squat, right? Right? Two-legged squat, right? I'm using both legs with one-leg deadlift. Okay? Right? That's a way to switch it up. Right? On the days you do squats, two-leg squats, right? Do one-leg deadlift. It spares your back and it helps with symmetry. On the days you do two-leg deadlifts, do lunges. Okay, that's a way of switching it up. Also, you can shift planes of motion. You can go side to side. You can add rotation. You will always do sagittal, which is front and back anyway. Now, also, check this out, right? Because lately I've been putting one-leg things, like I only do one compound exercise for legs, right? I'll do like a deadlift by itself. So if I do a one-leg deadlift, I'll do bilateral leg extensions, okay? If I do lunges, which is a squat pattern done the right way, I'll do bilateral or two-leg leg curls. So that one-leg, two-leg combination happens. The big thing I also do too is I add both squat and deadlift patterns in the same day, but one is a power exercise versus a strength exercise. For example, so I'll do jumps, right? A deadlift jump, right? I'll grab a trap bar, which is that diamond bar you stand in the center. I'll do explosive jumps, which is a powerful deadlift pattern. I'll rest a minute, and then I'll do my heavy lunging, which is a squat pattern. So now I have 2-leg jumping power deadlift with 1-leg strength squatting pattern. And I reverse that, right? I reverse that too, right? I'll do a push press, which is squat push, finish with a press, right? So it's a dip and press, right? That is a squat pattern, right? For power, I'll rest a minute or two, and then I'll do my single leg deadlifts. Again, now that's a combination of 2-foot squat power with 1 deadlift strength. Okay, and then I put the whole thing together. That's another type of leg paradigm I do, right? With all the things we just recently talked about. All right, folks. So again, right, this is it. Fitness made intelligent with finance made intelligent, based upon the principles of Dave Ramsey, the Total Money Makeover from the finance part. And again, me, I have a bachelor's degree in exercise phys. I have 5 different certifications from the NSCA, NASM. I have half of a master's degree in exercise phys ed, but I have a full-fledged master's degree in business. I've been doing fitness for about 25 years. Now again, I want to get out of it because there's nowhere to go unless you start your own business of fitness, right? So again, use personal training. If you love personal training and group exercise, you can make it a career by teaching various classes. You can teach one-on-one clients. You can have online newsletters, make videos, write books. But again, the fitness industry is not only, number one, it is very, very saturated, number one. Number two, low level of entry. Anybody and their mother can come in and get a cert. Here's the problem with the fitness industry again, right? You go to any big box gym, EOS, LA Fitness, Crunch, right? They all relatively pay the same, the trainer's the same. You can have all this education experience, start at a top tier if they still have that. Certain places do. Okay, and then you have a booger-eating moron who has 0 education, but then they pay the same thing. You have one who's highly experienced and deserves the higher pay. You have one who can just sell and provides poor service. Then they get paid the same, right? Now, the market, right, whatever value is there, the customer has to perceive that value. So if somebody's a crappy trainer, but they give good, maybe good companionship or just accountability, they're doing something, I guess that's value, and the person is just a great salesperson. Somebody like me, where I was highly educated, brought great service, I was a bad salesperson, I did bad. So now, remember, you're in the fitness business. You have to be a great trainer, and you have to get good at selling, right? And again, you have to get used to working odd, long hours, because when you're working, everybody's off. And when you're off, everybody's working, unless you can do what I'm trying to accomplish here. And people have done it, and that's why I'm doing it, where you're focusing more on the coaching aspect of, you know, the mind space with the body space. So just realize if you're trying to switch into fitness, you know, there's a tremendous amount of turnover. Every 6 months to a year, the field just constantly renews because people don't either like selling or they're fed up with the low level of entry and the weird lifestyle you have to accommodate just the influx of money, right? I work from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. straight and I make 100 grand. Cool, you don't work out, you have no benefits, you have no retirement, you have no social life, you have no family life. So again, if you like fitness, structure it the right way. Look at Mike Boyle, very successful coach. Look at Nick Tuminello, very successful business coach, fitness coach. Rachel and Alan Cosgrove from Results Fitness out of Santa Clarita. I highly recommend everybody watch the Strength Coach TV or Strength Coach podcast. Look at Rob Wolf. Big fan of Rob Wolf. Does lectures, lunch and learns, writes books, does a podcast. So there's other ways to make sure fitness happens. But again, right, there's better ways to make money by providing a service that actually yields results. Look at Dr. Mike T. Nelson. He's another great example. Dr. Lonnie Lowery. He has a PhD in exercise physiology, but he's a college professor. I like stuff like that. I like teaching about this stuff because fitness, the sad part about fitness is it does cure about 90% of what kills us. If you sleep right, eat right, control your stress, and work out regularly, blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, anxiety, depression, even dementia, all that stuff can be relieved. So they really do need to make this fitness thing a state licensed career like physical therapy if they want to keep long-term strategies. All these certifications, exercise specialist, NASM certified personal training, CSCS, the fitness field pays very low. Don't stay into it unless you want to be an entrepreneur and work with a company that, again, takes care of you. You take care of them. And by the way, to find a good career in the fitness space that actually is worth anything, it's really kind of tough. So if you're going to get into the fitness space, just, again, do your research, and that's why I'm trying to transition out of it. All right, folks, have a great day. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful opportunity to talk to you, and I hope I helped serve you.